Money management forms a large part of being an adult in the adult world. It is especially important when you're dealing with money from a different currency than what you are used to. We have created this presentation to help you budget while only receiving au pair pocket money. The first thing you will have to think about is what your priorities are. This might change over the course of the year and probably should be re-evaluated once in a while. For most au pairs, it is to travel, since this is the perfect opportunity to do so, and you may not have the time again in the future. Your priorities may be to go on adventures, experience different cultures, and travel. They may also be to go out, go to restaurants or bars over the weekends, or go to events and have drinks. Maybe you're embracing your inner influencer and want to travel in style. You would rather update your wardrobe than go to that extra country. You might find this year to be the one where you want to wear what you have always dreamed of. Your priorities could also be to save as much as you can. You appreciate the exchange rate between euros and rands, and when you go back home, you want to become a financially independent person. Whatever your priority is, it is important to keep it in mind when setting up your monthly budget. Once that is decided, you can start listing your expenses, your gym or pool membership or subscriptions, your phone or SIM card contract, your NS subscription and OV chip card, and of course gifts for friends or family who have birthdays. List everything you consider a set monthly expense. How many cents go towards each expense? Determine how much you should spend realistically on each of them. We have calculated a rough estimate, but according to your priorities, these prices can differ. Plan to save €25 for gifts, €20 for toiletries, €80 to €100 for travel, €15 to put away to save, €40 on your train card for traveling, €50 for an emergency fund, €30 for drinking and eating over the weekend, and €15 to €20 for your phone contract. This is something you should calculate yourself depending on your personal expenditure. The key to managing your money well is to stick to the budgeted amount you have allocated to each expense. To keep track of this, it can be helpful to keep receipts from stores and to plan your month specifically around events occurring during that month. Try to keep track of every cent and what it went towards. To assist you in staying on track, we have compiled a list of tips that we think could help you as an au pair in the Netherlands. The big money waster is buying food and water. It lasts maybe 5 minutes and can end up costing you a lot. Rather make food at home and take it with you. Water bottles can be filled in almost every station and around the cities. If you do, however, find yourself without food, supermarkets are cheaper than street food or restaurants. Supermarkets in stations are very expensive and should be avoided completely. Instead, find an Aldi, Lidl or Jumbo to buy your snacks. Other cheaper stores are Action and Normal. These have practically anything and everything you might need for rather cheap. They are definitely names worth remembering. Another way to save money is by traveling smartly and efficiently. Your free train rides over weekends only start from 7 p.m. on a Friday. If you travel in the evening before that, you may find your train costs to be excessive. You may also find yourself traveling in peak hour, which will cost you a lot extra. Another way of keeping travel costs low is by booking flights to leave over the weekend. By doing this, you will ensure a free journey to the airport. Ideally, you would arrange for both your outward journey and journey back home to be during the weekend. OV bikes are an au pair's best friend. One OV bike for an entire 24 hours will cost you less than taking 2 buses or trams. Sometimes you have got to sacrifice some exercise to save quite a few euros. Taking the bus twice per weekend every weekend can cost you 20 euros or more. Small costs add up. Now for the other side of traveling, the favorite type of travel, to a different country by plane. Of course, flights will always cost you, but there are still ways of keeping it relatively affordable. The cheapest flights can be booked on a Tuesday. Don't ask why, you have no idea, but it is true. Even logging into booking websites from different devices can help save some money. When booking flights, try booking directly from the airline. Even though it might seem cheaper to book through a third party, They may have hidden costs and are often unreliable in keeping your flight booked for the same dates. When booking, check to see whether the flight is cheaper from Eindhoven Airport. It is much smaller and further away than Schiphol, and therefore mostly costs less than half of that from different airports. If you know when to buy and when to borrow, you know all the most important secrets to keeping costs low. Before you buy anything, ask your host family or your friends if they have the thing you would like to borrow. Who knows, they might end up giving you something that you would have bought if you didn't ask. If you have an event you need a specific outfit for, try asking your friends to lend you something for the day instead of trying to persuade yourself that you will wear it again. Speaking of buying and borrowing clothes, please leave Shein alone. Not only are they known for being the most unsustainable company in the clothing industry, but they will also eat away at your bank account. Online shopping is the financial downfall of many au pairs, and it ends up making you have to pay for extra baggage on your flight home. If you discover that there is a clothing item or pair of shoes that you never wear or don't like, you can sell them on Vinted for extra cash. Who knows, the extra few euros might cover your NS costs. Lastly, try not to spend money on events. There are enough free ones around. Search for lounge music sessions, museums, youth gatherings, and go on group outings or picnics. We are aware that many au pairs have Dutch friends that are not au pairs. Please remember that they will be making more money than you, and that you do not need to feel pressured to spend money you don't have. If you can't afford an activity that they are doing, no matter how badly you want to do it, you need to learn to say no and keep disciplined. Here is an example of a budget set up by a current au pair. If you find it insightful and would like to grab some ideas from it, please pause the video to continue reading. We hope this presentation helps to bring you some clarity on how to manage your money as to afford traveling, having fun, and paying your expenses as an au pair.